All right, hello everybody. I'm Bumilzabub, and welcome to my channel and post-inauguration live stream. So far, the panel's not too full, but we got Lucia. Since both of you have channels, why don't you promote yourself a little bit before we jump in?
Do you want to go first, VBA?
Sure. So I'm Bible Belt Atheist or Zach, either one, don't really care. But I just have my own channel talking about science, religion, politics, and atheism. Sometimes every once in a while I'll do off-topic videos just kind of for myself or to see how they do, and to mix up my content. But I've been trying to post more regularly, but I've not been able to as much recently because of work and school and working on my car. So yeah, that's about it.
Hi friends, I'm Luciano. I have a YouTube channel. I post comments and people can see my channel from there. I'm also one of the mods, probably from like the Seven Princes days. I think that was when that probably happened. I recently have been making lots of videos talking about Pathfinder lore, but I make videos where I talk about just like a lot of different things. I do live streams pretty regularly, like 2 or 3 a week. So yeah.
And this is probably going to be a little more of a return to form for you, talking about politics.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the inauguration, the whole thing?
I personally, I thought it was like kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of stuff that was like pretty pre-2020. I think it was odd that so much of it was like in person. I don't think it's necessary for any of it to be in person. And like when I posted that it was a super spreader event on Facebook, a bunch of people were like, oh no, they got tested and everything. And I'm like, it only takes one person who has COVID for this to turn into a fucking nightmare. So I did not really like that. That was also something that I and the people over my Twitch stream talked about a lot, because like the singers didn't have masks when they were singing, which I kind of get because it's a lot more difficult to sing with a mask on than like with it off. But there was also like moments when now Vice President Kamala Harris didn't have her mask on. When she was getting sworn in, she had her mask off. And Sonia Sotomayor, most of the time that like she was like in view when she was doing the swearing in ceremony for Vice President Harris, also didn't have a mask on. And it's weird to see so many people not wearing their mask. It sends a really weird mixed signal because we're still in the middle of a pandemic. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they showed the crowd a couple of times, and at least one section they were social distanced. So
yeah,
I mean, plus side, but at the same time, it's still a crowd and people are going to mingle at some point.
Yeah.
What do you think, BBA? Or did you?
I mean, as far as everything goes, because I was on an online class, so I caught like the tail half of it or the half end of it. So I didn't actually get to hear Biden's speech live. But I'll go back later and watch it. But really, I was thinking about this earlier. Like, there's really only two options for this country right now. We can either unite and, settle our differences, get rid of this COVID stuff, or at least what we can right now. Either that, or, we'll just start, end up starting World War III and probably weaponize the coronavirus. I mean, that's really, at this point, between the Republicans, especially the staunch Republicans, believe me, I've got several friends that are staunch Republicans. That's really the only two options that I can see. We're either going to unite or start World War III or start Civil War II.
But I actually just remembered, like, to Luciano's point about not wearing a mask. You said you left like just before Biden finished speaking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you didn't see Garth Brooks' musical number. Like, when he walked up to the podium, he had a mask on, which is great. But after he got there, he took it off, sang his song, and when he started walking away, he didn't put his mask back on. And, you know, he hugged Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama. He just hugged a shitload of people. And it's like, you're not wearing a mask, dude. Like, somebody give them a sanitary wipe so they can, wipe off the parts of them that he was breathing on or something. Yeah. But,
so the people who are currently in the chat, Anna and Jessica, are some of the peeps who are over in MySpace, and MySpace is a lot. And the three of us were watching it live. We were chatting while stuff was going on and stuff, and I was able to watch all of it from pretty much beginning up until right before the end. So I was able to see some of the people who came in not wearing masks and stuff. And it was interesting to see, but I know that the purpose of this isn't really to talk about the inauguration itself, but what comes next. So here's hoping what comes next is better than this.
That's all we really can do is hope.
Yeah. So what do you guys heard that some of the next stuff that's going to happen today, among other things, Reverend Warnock's going to become senator, and also apparently right around dinner time there is going to be both a press conference at 4-ish with Jen Psaki, who's Biden's press secretary, and also there's going to be a string of executive actions, I think at around 5:30. I could look up the tweet, but I would have to look away from my camera for a few seconds. But yeah, so there's a real schedule. We have a real president now, which is an easy thing for people to say after 4 years of Trump. I think it makes sense for people to want normalcy and to want someone who is not necessarily Obama, but is at least a normal fucking guy in the White House.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be good to see someone who's a president on Twitter that's not a bombastic, Cheeto-colored man-child.
Putting it generously.
I don't want my channel to be shut down.
I got bullied Jack bullied me off of Twitter the day of the Capitol chaos because I told a congressman to go fuck himself with a cactus. So, I mean, I kind of deserved it, but also the congressman, he was some Arizona asshole. He was in the House of Representatives, and he was like, hey, I just want everyone to know that I'm still going to object. And I was like, you piece of shit.
I mean, Bub, you're worried about getting your channel shut down. You remember the first real video that I did? I just went straight after Mike Pence and just bashed the fuck out of him, not giving two shits.
Right.
So I mean, and I still do that shit. I would still do it again.
Yeah, probably more eloquently now that you're a little older.
2 years.
Yeah, it is really funny that the three of us are some of the younger peeps who make videos in our communities. Because Bob, you're the oldest one of us, but you're I think you're only 2 years older than me. I think
you're 32.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay. I thought that you were 28. I can never remember people.
No, he's an old man.
Thank you, Unicorn Cat.
You're welcome.
I put up with so much abuse on a daily basis.
Yes, you do. Wait, how old were you guys when you started doing YouTube?
Oh God, I don't want to say that. I was a baby. I was really young when I started doing YouTube videos.
I think I used to have an old channel. I don't upload it on anymore. But if you're going back to that old channel, my first ever video was uploaded when I was 12. And it was me cussing out my church.
That's a really big mood to just come into YouTube with. Since you were actually younger than I was when I started YouTube. I started YouTube when I was 14. My first videos are still up, but they're on a different channel. So you can actually find them if you know the username. Among other people, Godless Iowan has shared videos from them. Sir Skeptic has shared videos from it. I think Ocean has too. Just because we were joking about it in like different private chats. But I have like a cover of the song TikTok by Kesha. It wasn't me singing, it was one of my friends. But she didn't know how to do YouTube, and she was like, I want to be in a YouTube video. And I was like, okay, I'll be the middleman here.
Oh, damn.
What about you, BBA?
So I do have another channel that I ended up abandoning. So if you want to go by the old channel, then I guess you could say I was like 14 or 15. But this one I started when I was 17.
Yeah. I know that like there are a handful of like people in our community that I know of that are younger than you are, but there are not many. One of the people, it's really sad that one of the people isn't uploading anymore, but I'm sure that like just by saying that this person is a she, y'all probably know who I'm thinking of. I don't know if she like is doing YouTube anymore, but she was a high schooler when she started, which was a few years ago, and her videos were really good, especially given that she was like, I think she was like 15. But yeah, are you guys excited for anything about Biden other than the fact that he's not Trump?
Muted? You butthead?
You were.
I really hope that so one of the things Trump did before he left office, one of the terrible things, of course he did a lot, but he made it legal on a federal level, if I understand correctly, to discriminate against LGBTQ people on like medical terms and shit. You get what I'm trying to say. And I'm hoping he fucking reverses that, because do I need to explain why that's bad?
It's not. I don't think that you would need to explain why that's bad here. I know what you're talking about. I'm hoping that Biden does that. I don't remember in what format Trump did it. If it was an executive action, then Biden could do it. Biden should just go in right now and just be like, I'm the president. My first executive order is to say fuck you to all of Trump's executive orders.
I hope he does that.
I know that today there are going to be executive orders that are stopping some of Trump's. I know that one of the first ones is going to be reversing the Muslim ban. At least that was what it was supposed to be a few days ago. I'd need to like look it up to see if that's still the case.
Good. I feel like the reason Trump did all this shit towards the end of his term and stuff is because he wanted to make Biden's life as much of a living hell as he could.
Yeah.
Now he has to deal with domestic terrorism and has to just wipe all of his fucking executive orders and stuff. And I feel like he was just trying to make his life a living hell.
I mean, he definitely succeeded. Like the pandemic got like noticeably worse after the election, which was to be expected. Elections have that sort of effect in the middle of a goddamn pandemic. But then like there was the shit that happened in DC. I have family in DC and I lived there when I was when I was really getting started YouTubing. I was living in DC. And my family still lives there. I was talking to my dad while I was grabbing food and I was asking him how he was doing. And it seems like, among other things that are really funny, there was supposed to be a bunch of people at the Capitol, but there was like an army of National Guards people, so no one came anywhere near the Capitol, which is great. I love that. But yeah, so like living in DC right now, I've been talking to my family pretty regularly just to see how they're doing, and it's an experience.
Yeah. So what do you think of
Did you send me the link?
yeah, it's on Twitter.
Okay, thank you.
What did you think of Biden's actual speech? Like what you saw? I
actually got to see the whole thing. And it was a Biden speech. So, I mean, if you like Biden, then you were going to like the speech. I don't like Biden. I thought it was an all right speech, if I'm being completely honest, but like it was harping on all the same shit that he always talks about. So it's like unity with no real sense of accountability, stuff like that. And I'm just like, this is really boring and also like not great.
Yeah. And I'm not a fan of Biden either, but I mean, considering the state of the country, it's probably the best he was going to be able to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And probably would not be a bad idea to keep the team of speechwriters who wrote that. Yeah.
Were you able to see any of the speech, BBA, or were you? Or okay, that was what I thought.
No, I came in right towards the end of that one lady giving the poem.
Oh, okay.
So the youth poet laureate.
Yeah, I can't remember her name, but I came in like at the tail end of that poem.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one insisted on having subtitles on, so I didn't get to see her name.
Dude, I'm autistic and have ADHD. Subtitles help, so stop bitching.
I actually need subtitles. To be fair though, my subtitles are usually in Spanish. I don't talk about this super often on other people's channels, but Spanish is my first language. So like usually if I'm watching something and I have the option for closed captions in Spanish, I will have subtitles on in Spanish.
I did that when I was learning Spanish. It helped a lot. What's your Twitter and stuff? I don't think I'm following you, and
I'll put my Twitter in the comments. Also, what's yours? I know you. I know that we've interacted like once or twice, but I don't think we follow each other.
_unicorn _cat _
BBA, you should also plug your stuff. Also, I'm sorry that you're not talking that much. I know that I'm a loud person.
No, it's fine.
But since Unicorn Cat was not here from the start, go ahead and promote your channel.
What?
Self promote.
Oh, wow. That was my YouTube. What the fuck?
Non-binary Unicorn Cat is your main beautiful unicorn cat.
Yeah, I only have those two now. Yeah.
True crime unicorn.
I had like 4 channels, but I ended 2 of them because I'm just too stressed out. So, but I have my main channel, which is Beautiful Unicorn Cat, and then my like political atheist shit is Non-Binary Unicorn Cat. So that's a thing. And then I just said my Twitter. I don't know my Instagram. I don't pay attention. But that's the thing.
But yeah. Bob, can we count on you to put all the handy links in the description in a second? Not right now, but like later, so that way people who watch this back can be like, I know where people are.
Oh yeah, I can put the stuffs in.
Do you want my full page?
Do y'all have a link tree? Apparently that's a thing where you just list out all of your links.
I have a flow page.
But yeah, so like one of the things that I'm really interested in is when like the next Senate stuff. The next big Senate thing is Reverend Warnock becoming Senator Warnock, obviously. But we still need to get John Ossoff. I don't know if he's going to be sworn in today. And if he is, then it's possible that as early as tomorrow, the Senate could convene and be like, all right, so we need to do a few things. We need to make sure that Chuck Schumer becomes Senate Majority Leader or another Democrat, but probably Chuck Schumer. And we need to pass the checks, and then we need to do the impeachment trial. So let's go ahead and get all that shit started, because that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the first 100 days of a presidency is always busy, but I think this is going to be a uniquely full first 100 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit that needs to get done.
I don't think you guys want to listen to Dora.
No, we don't want to listen to Dora. Thank you.
So I just went and I pulled up a copy of Biden's like first day as president because I talked about it earlier. I just put it in the comment section, the chat section. Yeah, English. But yeah, it's definitely weird because like I remember when Trump was sworn in and all that sort of stuff. And now, because like that for me, that was like the real beginning of my like time as a political activist. So to see all of that stuff happening in reverse now with someone who's not great but isn't Trump is very interesting. It's very funny to be like actually almost excited about politics, even if it's just like I'm relieved that shit's back to normal.
Bro.
Normal. Is that?
I keep muting so you don't have to listen to me type. So you missed like that entire sentence, but I think you know what they said.
Because you're mean, you don't want them to hear me. I'm
Or
fabulous.
me
Like,
typing.
no, it's because you don't think I'm fabulous, even though I fucking am. I'm not conceited. I'm just extremely conceited.
You're not conceited. You're just stating facts. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
exactly. It's just facts.
I like everyone in this group. I didn't know who all was going to be able to make it, especially because I know that like you asked me to come on. When you asked me to come on, I was in the middle of my stream. So I was like, in the middle of my stream, I was like, I got invited to be in a live stream later today. I just need to see what time it is.
I should have a video done for that. Because the last video that's up on my channel is my COVID one.
Yeah. Yeah, that actually is a fun fact. This one had COVID for a little bit.
And a cold. And it's on top of a chronic illness. I wanted to die.
Yikes.
I have no idea how, but I managed to not get sick.
Your immune system's better than mine. I'm also immunocompromised, so my immune system
Okay, yeah.
not there.
I didn't catch this pandemic, but I actually got swine flu when I was a kid.
You're like, I didn't catch
So
one.
I'm surprised, I'm kind of surprised I didn't catch this pandemic, but like none of my friends who live where I live have gotten COVID. I think that like that's the real key. I'm also like the least social person on earth. I live in my room. I go to my girlfriend's university. My girlfriend's in the chat. That's Jessica Brooks. And like she and I are students at the same university, but I'm getting my master's degree and she's getting her baby degree. And like because of that, we're able to see each other like most days, assuming my schedule works out. But like she's the only person I hang out with. So
But see, I only hang out with him because like I hate leaving the house, got anxiety and shit.
same.
I was surprised, but also not when I got COVID. Because again, like chronic illness, cold, immunocompromised. I'm sure I got it from some asshole dick nosing. Always great.
Yeah, like where we live, if you are wearing a mask, there's about a 50% chance the person wearing it is dick nosing. That's if they're wearing the mask at all, which about half of where I live doesn't.
Yeah, they don't even care to.
Yeah. And there've been, in the county I live in, somewhere around 1,000 COVID deaths.
Yikes.
I think 11 cases in our area right now.
Yeah.
Which might not seem like a lot, but it'll very quickly grow.
Greensboro is not a great place for COVID stuff. I can't speak for the rest of North Carolina, which is also not great for COVID stuff. But Greensboro is not fun.
Okay, so the county I live. Okay, I was wrong. There are, let's see, a total of 132 deaths where I live, so I was way off.
Yeah.
The number of total cases is 12,819. So yeah,
So I was also off.
Yeah.
Let me actually look up Greensboro. I'm gonna look up my city rather than looking up my county. Greensboro, COVID. Let's see.
Just so I could figure it out. I might take the canister things used for paint.
Guilford County. So, okay, where I live, which is Guilford County, there are a total case number of 31,039, 391, and 360 deaths. But that's my county specifically. For all of North Carolina, there are 684K cases and then just over 8,000 deaths. So, not terrible, but also not good.
I was gonna say that's bad, but that's not terrible.
Yeah. Okay, so apparently in the cases overview, it doesn't show how many current cases there are, but from the 6th all the way up to yesterday, there are currently 1,758 cases in my county.
That's probably where you got the 1,000-some from then, yeah.
Yeah, either way, 11 deaths is too many. 1,700 cases is too many.
It feels really weird that like we've just been in pandemic mode. Depending on where you live, we've been in pandemic mode for around a year. Like in Greensboro, we didn't really start reacting until like really early March. Like we started reacting as North Carolina reacted, but then it was in March when we got our own like stay-at-home orders and all that sort of stuff specific to my county. So it's weird to think that we've just been in this reality for goodness, like around a year. Yeah,
I think school let out and our stay-home order was, shortly following that. But school let out mid to late March. So yeah, it has been almost a freaking year.
Yeah, my county's at 19,663 cases and 285 deaths.
That's fun.
Wow, your county has a lot more cases than I would have thought. I know roughly where you live, so it's surprising that it was that many. Yikes.
Yeah, because we're pretty rural.
Yeah.
Except for downtown. But that's kind of to be expected.
Yeah.
I mean, the city I live in is too small on the scale of Ohio, which I don't know how much that actually says, to have statistics by city. But since I live in the capital city of the county, it's going to be more than average in the other ones. So yeah, it's great, and people don't wear masks because Obama is a Somali communist or some shit like that. I don't know.
Masks are communists, apparently.
Yeah,
well, listen to the butters that just lost power.
Yeah, here for me, it's either you realize that the pandemic is real or you think it's a fucking hoax.
Yep.
There's just really no in between.
It's weird. Like I'm surprised that there's still people like 9 months into it being in the United States, like for real. Like people have been reacting for about 9 months to it being people. God, my English got so fucked up there. For about 9 months, we've been reacting to the pandemic, and it's wild to me that people still think it's like a hoax. Because, like, I don't know, if it was a hoax, I would have imagined that at some fucking point, like, we would have just stopped reacting to it. I remember Trump said, and a whole bunch of other people said, that after November 4th, there was going to be no more pandemic coverage. And then there was about as much pandemic coverage as there was of people paying attention to Donald Trump trying to steal an election. So weird hellscape we live in.
Oh, I remember when I was working at a convenience store a while ago. Like this mouth-breathing idiot comes in and says that he's tired of, what did he call it? The gorilla virus.
Jesus.
Like, okay, this is like June, dude, and you don't know what it's called? Like, part of me thinks he was trying to do this weird racist attribution to black people. I wouldn't be at all surprised considering where I live. But yeah, no, that ain't it. Unfortunately, all I could do is stand there and be like, yeah. Or, actually say something and risk being fired. Great.
I've worked for a university when COVID was just starting, and that was a weird thing to happen because, like, I was lucky. My university paid me more than enough for me to, like, be able to afford stuff without worry. This was at the beginning of the year, not like August and stuff, which was when work started being real fun for me. But I worked for a university, and then Capri. Capri's family. Capri is a person over in my Discord, and Capri is their Twitter handle. And Capri's family is always very interesting. I'm sorry you have to put up with that, Capri. That is some bullshit. But like over in my spaces, I was able to start working remotely, no problem. And then after that, when my contract for my university ran out was when things started to be real fun for me because a bunch of graduate students who were working for our university didn't get our contracts renewed. So some of us who were ready to become unemployed and some of us who were not ready to be unemployed went into the job market right in the middle of a pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah, I got kind of lucky because I got a job right in the middle of the pandemic, so that was.
So to answer Jessica Brooks' question, I am he, him.
I'm they, them.
I'm he, him.
Oh yeah, just the he, him standard cis male pronouns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, only non-cis.
I was about to say I'll take the role of the genderqueer badass.
I mean, like, me being cis is the only, like, I guess, standard thing that I am. I'm asexual, so that's fun.
Wow. Oh shit. But I'm okay. So it's probably about time to. Yeah, that's not editing. I'm just clicking a button. I'm too lazy to figure out something like OBS. But so looking forward to the future, how do we think the Biden presidency will go for the first 100 days? We sort of touched on it by saying it was going to be uniquely busy, but how do you think it'll actually go?
BBA, you want to go first?
I'll let you go first since you're more politically minded than me.
I feel like I'm like a strong dominating voice, so I'm just like, oh no. I think like what's gonna happen. I do agree with the assessment that it's gonna be really busy. I'm hoping that it's gonna be good. There's some potential for it to be good. We have Congress, which is like a really strong sign. It means that provided Congress actually works together like they're supposed to, we can get a bunch of shit passed like super quickly, which is the best way to do things. You don't want to do stuff by executive action or executive order because that stuff can just be reversed by the next guy. So
yeah. I mean, it's gonna have to start with executive action, but it has to be followed with actual legislation. Yeah. What do you think, BBA?
I don't know. Like I said earlier, it can go good or it could go bad. I mean, you know, like y'all were kind of thinking too, you know, Biden's not the best guy for the job, but at the same time, he's a hell of a lot better than Trump. So,
Yep.
You know, I probably would have gone for Sanders personally, but, you know, with how the presidential race turned out, you know, we pulled another 2016 and, you know, it came down to Trump or Biden, and, you know, Trump's a fucking tyrant. So, you know, there's no other choice.
What do you think?
It's either the old guy or the tyrant.
All I know is I have zero hope for humanity or America at this point.
I think that's like the fairest assessment.
Yeah, we just need to just all of America. We just need to start everything over. We just need to not.
I personally think it's going to be a whole lot of Biden trying to return to the status quo, which probably not a good idea, considering it's the status quo that led to Trump. But I don't know. It's definitely going to be busy. Biden's really got to crack the whip with the legislature to get so much shit fixed.
Yeah.
You know, and it has to be done, like, in this first 2 years. You know, preferably in the first 100 days, which, let's face it, is for
Probably
the most,
not going to happen.
yeah, it's the most constructive part of a presidency is that first 100 days. You know, and it kind of tapers off until you get to the 2-year mark. Then you're running for president again. So the work slows down. But I mean, we've got at least 2 years with the House and the Senate, both being majority Democrat. I don't know if enough work can get done. Like, even if Bernie won, it wouldn't be enough time to get everything that needs to be done. But, you know, such is the way politics work in America.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very interesting to see what the actual like priority is, but like everyone agrees, like across the board, it's like one of the first priorities that's like a very bipartisan thing is $2,000 checks, by which we mean $1,400 checks. And a lot of people are really annoying about that on like both sides of that discussion. A lot of people are like $2,000 should mean $2,000, which it should. But also like people want to pretend like those people are dumb. And it's like, no, you don't really get to say that. It makes sense for someone to hear the way that this is being advertised and to be like, yeah, this means that we're going to get another $2,000, not $1,400. It's exhausting. Like that's going to be one of the first things that happens no matter what. I hope that we're able to get it before February. Probably not going to be able to do that, honestly, but it would be nice if we just pass that by itself rather than trying to make it fancy. Who knows?
I mean, really, if you kind of look at Trump's presidency as a whole, you know, he fucked up so much shit that, like, it's not even going to take one presidential term to fix. It's going to take probably 2 or 3 to fix and get us back to somewhat of a normalcy before he was president. Or especially before the pandemic, because shit really hit the fan once the pandemic started.
Yeah, and it's still going on. Like, it's not over yet. We're probably gonna start to see it taper off around summer, but there's a lot of time between now and summer. It's like half a year, so.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that there's some kind of UBI instituted, and for those that don't know what the hell I'm talking about when I say UBI, I mean universal basic income. You know, with a priority on people who are out of work because of the pandemic or can't find work because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, or people who are immunocompromised and definitely can't work because of the pandemic. But
I appreciate the inclusion.
yeah, I don't know, man. Like the political climate, I don't think is going to lend itself very well to that. Yeah.
It is going to be frustrating to watch Congress shift over the course of like the next fewish days and then longer term the next few months, because we have new people coming in, especially in the House, and lots of those new people are already like showing their entire asses to the internet. People like Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene are like two of the big examples. It's going to be really frustrating to watch them just constantly fuck shit up for the next like 2 years until we can elect them out. Fortunately, the House gets... I actually don't like that the House is only 2 years, because that is not enough time to do anything. But it is kind of nice that we only have to deal with those two assholes for 2 years. So,
yeah. And who's that? Shit, that idiot that God, I can't even remember what university he went to, but the alumni of his university, the conservative alumni of that university in particular, were warning about, not voting for him. Like, do not vote for this guy, because in the less than a year he was at this university, he gained campus-wide recognition for sexual harassment and sexual assault. Like, that guy won somehow.
I thought at first you were talking about Joshua Hawley. Let me check, because I don't think that's Joshua Hawley. Lots of people at Hawley's alma mater were just like, hey, he's a bad guy, you shouldn't vote for him. But he's a senator, so we have to deal with him for a little bit longer, unfortunately. Let me try and find the person who you were talking about.
If it narrows down your search, I'm pretty sure he's paralyzed too. Like from
Madison Cawthorn. Fuck that guy. He's from our neck of the woods, me and BBA, like relatively speaking. He's a North Carolina guy. Fuck that guy. Holy shit. That demon.
And he took his Twitter debut as a senator to say "suck it, libs." Like, apparently my dad has Twitter now, and he's following or at least aware of representatives, and on his Twitter after he won literally said "suck it, libs." Like, what's wrong with you?
He's an asshole. He's also like just an outright white supremacist. He's known for being fond of Hitler. One of his campaign staffers was wrote something about like one of their enemies, like the person that they were running against. They had a member of their crew who was like either a journalist or like a known writer who had written for black publications. And a member of Cawthorn's staff was like, yeah, that man like writes for like the enemy or whatever. And it's just outright white supremacy. And of course it's North Carolina. I love North Carolina. It's my home state, but like, of course it's North Carolina.
Yeah, so like this so much fuckery going on, but hey, at least Georgia flipped blue for the first time in how many decades?
I think at least my entire life, definitely. Like, oh God.
Or did Georgia flip for Bill Clinton? I don't remember.
I don't think it. I can check, but I don't think it did.
I think it was like the first time in like 30 or 40 years that they had flipped.
Yeah. So.
Oh, actually, it did. Wow. Let me check.
For Clinton?
Yeah, for Clinton in 1992. So first Clinton race, not second.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and then in 1996 it went back to being red. Of course.
Well, yeah.
25.
Like, I don't know. It'd be great if we could do something about gerrymandering, because I'm pretty sure states like Georgia would actually be blue if you didn't split minority communities in half or thirds, depending on how badly gerrymandered it is. Yeah.
Gerrymandering is also like decimated North Carolina politically. There's like North Carolina, I think, is actually the worst state for gerrymandering, according to like years of bipartisan reporting. So that's part of the reason why it is that like someone like Governor Roy Cooper can win election on the same year and the same race that Donald Trump wins the state, which confused the hell out of so many people in 2016. It was really funny for them to be like, oh, Pat McCrory, everyone hates Pat McCrory, but in North Carolina, apparently enough people like Donald Trump for him to win. Weird.
You've been awful quiet, BBA. What you got?
I've just been listening to the conversation. But no, I mean, North Carolina is a shit show as far as Trump supporters go, or Trump versus Biden. Because so at my job, I'm a commercial driver, and so I just go around, drive, drop off deliveries for people or for businesses. And the one time during the election time, there's a mall like half a mile from where I work, and there was a Trump rally over there, and there was probably a good 150 to 200 Trump supporters just gathered all at that mall. None of them wearing masks. Half of them, you had like probably a quarter of them that were in just regular standard cars. The rest of them were either in extremely jacked up or squatted trucks. So there's quite within the Trump supporters. There's quite a few in the majority that are extremely out there country people. So.
I don't know if either of you have seen anything like this, but like, flags scale in size depending on the flagpole they're being flown on.
Are you talking about the mom side of the house?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So where I live, there's this person that lives off of the highway, and I don't know why anyone would choose to live immediately off of the highway because of the noise, but this person does. And you know how big the flags are that go on the 50-foot tall poles? He had one of those draped on the house.
Yeah, we drove by the other day, and the side of his house was all fucked up, and we're assuming it's because of it.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to hang a flag on
that big too. Yeah. And the material it was didn't look too light. Because obviously there's different material and shit. It looked like the heavier material. Mm-hmm. So I don't know why they thought that was smart, but
yeah. They don't have a wall now.
Yeah. They have a house mount.
Yeah. So some people are just ridiculous. I've never understood the hero worship. I've never understood people flying flags, like the little yard signs. I get,
yeah,
like the Bernie Sanders 2016 mug. I get, but these giant flags that say we need Trump.
Well, even then, the same people who worship their precious cult leader Trump will bitch and moan about, like, you shouldn't burn the flag, you should respect the flag, blah, blah, blah. But then a lot of Trump's flags go against flag code. And they're also the same people who will fly the blue
Confederate flag.
No, well, the Confederate flag, yeah, but also the Blue Lives.
Blue Lives Matter, yeah.
The blue line, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So fly that too, and it's like that is against flag code, just as burning it is or letting it touch the ground.
Yeah. Fortunately, there is a First Amendment which protects such things. But I mean, if you're gonna bitch about a violation of flag code, at least be consistent.
Yeah, no, they're all hypocrites though. That's the thing. Most of them, I should say, are hypocrites. Or they just don't know the actual flag code and they're running their mouths about something they don't know anything about, which would be such a shocker. Yeah.
Conservatives not knowing things? What? That's new.
Environment to be a conservative.
One of my buddies just mentioned Surus, and I commented that Surus is probably doing their own stream right now. I can't imagine that Surus and Ocean aren't probably doing something, because Ocean was doing the Ocean did an impeachment stream the other day on like last Wednesday. It's weird that all this shit keeps happening on Wednesdays.
Monday.
The first Wednesday of the year we had the attempted coup. Last Wednesday we had impeachment, and then today we have today.
Yeah, I don't think Cirrus is doing. I'm looking at YouTube, and the only people I'm subscribed to that I see on are purple. And
yeah, that makes sense.
Want me to send him the link?
Sure.
See if he's available. You sent me the link, didn't you?
Not the StreamYard one.
There you go.
Sirius is Chris.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I always forget their actual names because, like, I'm friends with them now. Him.
It's weird, yeah. Like, it's weird when like you're friends with someone who's like a big like YouTuber.
Watched him on YouTube and stuff before I started talking to him, so it's just weird. I'm just like, I know his YouTube. I always forget the names.
The two like biggest examples of that for me are like two of my buddies are Essence of Thought and Godless Cranium. And both of them have like sizable audiences, and like everyone knows Essence of Thoughts. Like everyone knows their names now, but like I've been following them since before I was an atheist, which is a sign of both how long they've been on YouTube and also like how long I've been on YouTube. So it's funny to be like, those people are my friends. Weird.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy though too. Like with me going along with that, like having been on Neil's shows so many times and having now been on after parties and live streams with all three of them, Seth Andrews, Aaron Ron, now Matt Dillahunty. It's crazy because Aaron Ra, especially, he was one of the big three people that helped me deconvert.
Yeah.
So
the main person who helped me deconvert is someone that I don't want to talk to. But like when I was just starting to get out of religion, the first two YouTube channels I ever watched were Armored Skeptic and The Amazing Atheist, both of whom are just like,
If I remember correctly, it was Jacqueline Glenn for me. Granted, I was already like atheist, but I wasn't atheist. Yeah. Like I was 11, 12 years old. Come on. I didn't even know that was a thing. But like she was the one who helped me realize, oh, that's a label that fits well. That's what that is. Like, this is why I cuss out my church all the damn time.
One of the other big ones who I actually really do like even now is Kate, Bionic Dance. And I've been on several live streams with Kate. It's always really nice, especially because like Lavender Lady and Kate are, at least the last time I was like over in one of Lavender Lady's streams, they were like really good friends, and I'm pretty sure they still are. And Lavender Lady is always like, I'm gonna do a political thing if she's ever like, I want to do a political thing and I'm not sure of that much about it, I'm like one of the first people. I hope she's doing well. I haven't been like in that part of Twitter in a while.
Yeah, no, they're still friends. Like just the other day that Kate did a live stream with Lavender Lady. So
yeah,
they still do stuff. I didn't get to watch it because I was still asleep. But apparently Trump looked kind of impotent as he got on Marine One.
Doesn't he always? Like, let's be real.
Yeah. Yeah, but like especially so today.
It is really funny after like all of the shit that's been going on, for him to just like leave so quietly. I was really nervous about today after last Wednesday. And when I talked to my dad, I was just like, yeah, how's stuff over the Capitol? He's like, it's fine. We're all good.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I saw an open invite to discuss the inauguration, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Yes, I'm the Lone Wanderer. Some people may have seen me, may not. I have a Word of the Day series. I often am on Critical Questions, and I write a lot of the questions for Dave's show.
Nice.
Nice.
So, that's me.
So we've all gone through our thoughts on the inauguration. So why don't you give us yours, if you got to watch it?
Yeah, it was pride mixed with panic because I'm like, yay, the guy's gone, but now what? Like, are we gonna get back to normal? Is there any sense of normalcy? And also, it's kind of cool that, you know, we have a female in the White House now, and I'm also going to be taking my oath for my citizenship for the states on Friday. So that's kind of cool. But mine is like, where to now? Like, where do we go from here? You know? And I'm getting ready to start counting the lies because I don't. It's not that I don't like Biden, but I just don't know him. I don't know him well enough. You know, I'm scared, apprehensive, and also euphoric that Trump is gone.
I think that's like a really good summary of like a lot of people's moods. I had friends who were like asking on Twitter, it's like, how's everyone doing now? And I was like, well, I'm still worried, but like I also feel a little bit of hope. And after 4 years of just dealing with Trump's bullshit, even feeling a little bit of hope is a nice feeling, you know?
Mm-hmm. And it's so go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's gonna be nice to not mutter "fuck" under my breath every couple of minutes in a panicky mood. That'll just be every 10 minutes.
Yeah. And it's been really scary being an immigrant, though.
Yeah. I can only imagine. Like I'm Puerto Rican, and the Puerto Ricans are not immigrants, but we get treated like them. And like even as a non-immigrant, like I'm constantly worried about my immigrant friends, especially because I was raised abroad. I was raised in Latin America, so I was raised in places like Honduras, Panama, and Colombia. And I've always been an American citizen, but like coming to the United States, the first time that I lived here for like an extended period of time was when I came here for college. So and that was like right before Trump became president. Like Trump became president in the middle of my college experience. And then I've just been dealing with his bullshit ever since.
I hear you.
So any good hopes for the future, or, you know, like how do you think the first 100 days is going to go?
I think it's going to be a roller coaster, but it might be a nice one. But no, it's I mean, I'm interested to see what they do with the Senate, if they're going to change the House floor rules, because you know it's like 2/3 now, you know, majority. But now that, you know, they've got enough with Kamala Harris, so it'll be interesting to see how much stuff gets pushed through. And I haven't even looked to see how many executive orders he's already done. Apparently, he's going to sign like 5 or 6 today.
Yep.
You know,
right around Sorry, what were you saying?
Just saying, I'm optimistic.
Yeah. I was talking about this earlier, but right around 5:30, there's going to be like a whole bunch of executive orders that are going to be signed, and then at 4, so like a little bit before then, there's going to be a press conference, a daily press briefing with the new press secretary, and I'm excited for both of those things because it's nice to have someone who is both able to communicate and also not like a serial liar, like a compulsive liar in front of the White House press corps. I actually really like the daily press briefings. I think that they're not necessary, but it's nice to have them. So that's one of the fun things that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, I mean, for the first 100 days, daily press briefings probably going to be a smart thing to do, but you know, less after that, because like we were told to expect a flurry of executive orders in the first 100 days. So, but you know, like I said earlier, hopefully those executive orders are backed up with legislation that gets turned into law.
Yeah. But the Republicans are going to fight him at every step.
Yep. I wouldn't
as
expect
folly as it is.
any different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that there. Oh, sorry. I know that there are like. I know that there's some areas where there's at least some Republican support. One of the big examples is the $2,000, aka $1,400 checks. Some peeps like Marco Rubio have come out and been like, "Hey, we're gonna support this." And then in the same breath, they've been like, "You shouldn't impeach Donald Trump." And yes, you should, obviously. But like everyone is trying. A whole bunch of people were trying to get Biden to back off of impeachment, which is funny because like that's not a thing that he has influence over. So it's really weird to try and be like, "Hey, you should get your party to stand down." It's like, well, he's not involved. So
I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to that impeachment. I will watch every minute of that, especially if he represents himself. I would watch every minute. Like
that would make a good
the man
TV.
has a yeah. Tell you, the man's a pathological liar. He lies as easily as he breathes. I've never seen anyone who's that good of a liar. You know, it just comes out like this queen.
So there's a meme I just saw on Twitter, and I have to share it because this is lovely. You're familiar with the picture of Donald Trump yelling at the kid mowing the lawn? Bro,
yeah.
Yes.
This makes me so happy.
It's so nice. It's so weird. Like, I don't know. I didn't know that image could make me feel such joy. But after like 4 years, that was like one of the first memes to come out of the White House. So like just seeing that image without him there and like, oh, my heart.
See, I just have this image now. I wonder if he's somewhere just shoving cheeseburgers in his mouth, crying, "Why didn't they love me?" I gave you guys all this money from COVID, and you kicked me out.
I wonder if he has anyone to eat fucking Big Macs with now.
He's got to eat his hamburgers and kafuffi all by himself now.
Yes.
So sad.
I wonder if he'll move to Thailand.
Look, he needs to go over to China. That is the weirdest pronunciation of China I've ever heard. Like, English isn't my first language, and like I know like I pronounce some words weirdly, but that pronunciation is not correct.
Yeah, didn't he say China a few times?
He did.
Like, there is neither a J nor a G.
I know.
Our country. So where did it come from?
I normally
I don't know.
I normally wouldn't want to make fun of like someone's English, but like he only speaks English. He went to like a pre-Ivy League university. Like I'm not making fun of him for like problematic reasons. I'm making fun of him very specifically for his like unique as fuck accent. No one else talks like Trump does.
And hopefully no one ever will again.
Hopefully. One can dream. I actually have to get going, but I hope that y'all have fun. It was nice. I think that this is the first time I'm meeting you, Lone, but I'm going to ask Bub for your links later so I can follow you. But yeah,
absolutely.
Bye, everyone.
All right, bye.
Oh, hell.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get going here soon. Next 10 or 15 minutes because I gotta go back over to my mother's and finish working on my car. Well, hers / mine.
That sounds like
I
fun.
know that's scary. Yeah.
I gotta finish.
So I know
'cause
how to kill the party.
Yeah. I got into a bit of an accident, so I'm having to replace the headlights and front bumper and pull a dent out of the hood.
No.
So, yeah, that's fun.
Well, at least the damage doesn't sound too extensive.
No, it's not that bad. It's just a matter of it's just a pain in the ass.
I hear that. Like I'm sitting here waiting for an electrician.
Yeah, Buick. For anybody who is thinking about getting a car, do not get a Buick because it's a piece of shit to work on.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pieces of shit to begin with. Like there's only ever been 2 good Buicks that were ever made, and they're not even that great. And the only 2 were the first gens, Regal and GSX, and they're not even that good. From like back in the 80s. Like those were the only 2 decent Buicks. But I don't know. It right now it's a car. I've got my other one that I'm still trying to rebuild. That's going to be a while before that's back out on the road though, because of money.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
If I had the money, it'd be out. It would have been out a while ago, but
so I'm thinking of ending this in a minute because I am getting kind of hungry and in need of food. Do we want to look at the thread that Luciana just posted of the Trump's crying on our way out?
Sure.
Because I'm such a wonderful person.
I see nothing wrong with it.
So do I. Okay, so this one I think is Eric. So sad.
Sweet mega teams.
Junior and I can't remember her name. She used to be on Fox News, I think.
Yeah.
Ivanka and Jared Kushner. Actually, the least sad one. That it's not giving the same satisfaction. Tiffany, I think.
Yeah, Tiffany. I wish I didn't know that.
And Ivanka again. This time she is sad.
Sweet mega tears.
That's tastes so sweet.
I wonder if you could collect those for some witchcraft, or use them in a D&D campaign. Mega tears.
I wonder what kind of boost that'd give. I don't know. We should get Luciana back in here for that.
That'd probably be more of a speed bump than a boost.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, like Nick.
All right. Well,
you should go eat.
Yeah, I definitely need to eat. BBA needs to get to work on the car, and you need to prepare for American citizenship.
And this electrician.
Yeah, that too. But hopefully they're a good one.
I hope so, because they were supposed to show up last week, and then they're like, "Oh, we don't really go out to your area too much, so I didn't want to waste my gas." I'm like, "What?"
Okay. Yeah, no, it's okay. I'll just freeze.
I know, right?
But yeah.
That's
So, before we go one last time with everyone doing a little self promo, let's start with the newest member, Lone. You first.
Thanks. So I'm the Lone Wanderer. My channel's the Lone Wanderer's Bunker. I do a daily Word of the Day series. It actually was inspired by Trump and his lack of literacy that inspired me to do the series. I'm often on Critical Questions with Dave, Critical Cripple. I write most of the questions for that show, so you can tell what kind of a psycho I am. And yeah, do some commentary and just go on other people's channels and try to save the world one word at a time.
All right. BBA.
So the Bible Belt Atheist, just talk about science, religion, politics, and atheism. I've been trying to make content, more regularly because my normal upload schedule is Sunday and Wednesday. But I'm having to deal with work and school and trying to rebuild my car. So I upload when I can, and if I can't, then anybody who watches me knows why. So
Yeah. You want to finish chewing so you can self promo? I'm going to go ahead and self promo while they are chewing. I am Beelzebub. I post mostly atheist content, but I'm starting to diversify a little tiny bit. You may have noticed with a couple videos I have where I make condiments. But my uploading schedule has become much more sporadic lately. It's just a matter of when I get the motivation, because it's been just mentally really stressful lately. My chronic pain hasn't helped either. But yeah, for those of you who are new to my channel, please subscribe while you're here. And then that's it for me. So your turn.
Hello. I have 2 YouTube channels. My main one is Beautiful Unicorn Cat, and I upload sex work content and mostly makeup videos. And then I also have my political atheist crap on Non-Binary Unicorn Cat. And I upload whenever the hell I feel like it. So sometimes I'll upload every day of the week. Sometimes I'll upload once a month. Just depends.
Yeah. Lone Wonder, what you should actually do is post. You're probably going to have to wait until it goes live as a video after I end the broadcast, because I don't know if you're watching on YouTube right now while you're participating, but leave your links in the comments and I'll approve them as soon as I see them.
Okay.
But that's gonna do it for this one. If you want links to everyone's channel, I did a promo of that at about the 23-minute mark, I think, where I posted links to Unicorn Cat stuff, BBA, and Luciano. So yeah, check that out, and let's hope this next 4 years is smoother than the last. Take it easy, everybody. See you all in the next one.